Hello, everyone. Welcome back to episode 11 of the Pats podcast. I'm your co host, John.
And I'm your co-host Joseph.
Before we start today's episode, we just wanted to give a quick shout out to all our social media platforms like TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram, Pats Podcast. Please make sure you guys follow us there. We're constantly posting there to stay active and have some interaction with you guys. If you guys want to support us, you can donate at anchor.fm/pats-podcast/support. We really appreciate it because it helps build up our future plans.
Also, I just want to say that it's really cool that when we started this, we really just wanted to talk about like helping younger people, helping young adults, like, and help people find their careers and stuff. And it's super cool that when we ask for suggestions on Instagram for episodes, that people mention like normal stuff, like regular stuff, that I don't know. It's like super cool because like it's not like deep philosophical stuff that we're gonna talk about. It's just like regular stuff that they just want to hear us talk about because they like hearing like the genuine conversation, and that's like so awesome. I think so. I just wanted to say thank you because I don't know. It just gives us like a wider range of like what things to talk about, and it's great to hear that you guys are interested in like our conversation and like what we have to say, and just like you guys like hearing that. So like that's really cool. But anyways, on to the episode. Today we're going to be talking about our mindsets and how our mindset can impact us a lot more than we think, and it's like really misleading.
Yeah. when we the point our point of view on something is going to affect the results, number one, and number two, it's going to affect the long-term effect that's going to have on us, right? If that makes sense. So if we look at something negatively, we're always going to remember that situation for a long time about that how it negatively impacted us, but we're never going to see like, okay, it helped do this or the positive side of it or anything like that. And it's always because we're conditioned to kind of think like that. No, don't you think? Like,
Yeah, and
view the
after reading,
glass half empty instead of half full.
yeah, and I did some research before we actually started the episode, and after like some studies have been done, it's clear that our brain is impacted way heavier with negative stuff, and it's called the negativity bias. If you're interested, if you want to look it up, but yeah, like that's what happens. Like our brain is impacted way more when something negative happens. That's why we remember like how things negatively affected us or what negative stuff has happened. And
If
we
you
yeah, sorry, not to get
if you were
confused with what we were talking about last or 2 episodes ago with overthinking. This is kind of like with the mindset, like not even thinking, just like how you live.
exactly, and it goes with the say you post something, you get 100 positive comments like, "Oh my God, you look so good," or "Great." If you post a singing video, great vocals, something like that. One
Hmm.
comment that says, "This was so bad," or like, "You suck." What are you gonna remember the most?
That's the
That
one that
one
affects you
comment.
the most. Yeah, and you always hear like celebrities talking about that, or like social media influencers talking about that. How like they have all these positive comments, but they see like one or two negative comments, and that's what impacts them the most, and that's what hurts them. Because like that's just what hurts the brain the more. Like that's what impacts the brain more.
Yeah, and I mean they have millions of people have like millions of followers. Like Selena Gomez, for example, right? Like one of the most followed people on Instagram, I believe,
Yes.
or still like the
Yeah.
top one. I don't know, one of
Yeah.
like
Like
one or
top
two.
10.
Yeah, she has
Hmm.
millions of followers, but she can't be on social media for like that long because she'll literally like start attacking herself
Yeah.
because of she has millions of comments saying like you're beautiful and this and that, but she has maybe a few thousand, and I mean thousands a lot, but compared to millions and thousands a little that like are telling her you're ugly, you're this, you're that, and
Mm.
it just ruins them.
Back with Justin Bieber.
And I'm using her as an example because I know like she's one of the top followed
Yeah.
people on Instagram, but like
Yeah,
imagine these
Dustin.
people with millions of followers. Instead of people
I think
like
another
focusing
step,
on their
like,
millions of positive comments, they always focus on the few negative ones. And that's what
yeah.
impacts them.
Now we're going into like how it affects you and like how you think about it, you know, like much like what you're saying with like the glass is half full or the glass is half empty. Like that's like a great example. And also like how you take stuff affects your mentality, kind of like what I was saying like in the overthinking episode. Sorry to bring it back there again, but how like a good mentality to have is like I never lose, like I always win. It's either I win or I learn something, you know, again. And that's like a great mentality to have, because like if you think like that, you're always a winner, you know. But then a lot of people have the glass half empty mentality, where it's like they focus on that negative and that's what brings them down, and that's how they look at stuff, you know. And that's like, and it really affects like your decisions, um yeah, like long term, like. And oh my god, like just like what we were talking about, the Will Smith thing that I was talking about, where I saw the TikTok that Will Smith was like, somebody said like, oh, I want to be an actor like you. And like so many people do this, so many people think like this, you know. It's like they have these like big dreams, and like he like the guy said, I want to be an actor like you, Will Smith. But then he was like, are you willing to do the work? Because 99% of people like wouldn't, like don't have that self like dedicate or self,
Self discipline.
yeah, discipline, there we go. Yeah, so the self discipline to just like really be like, I want that, and like I can attain it, so like I should, like I can go for it. But no, like 99% of people talk themselves out of that, you know. The Marines have this saying like, a lot, everyone wants to go to heaven but nobody wants to die. Like it's just like crazy to think about how like your mentality can just change your whole life like that, you know. Like you can just have that mindset of like, I can't do that, like I can't do that, like I can't reach this goal. And then you just never try to achieve it or try to do stuff to achieve it, so then you're just stuck. Whereas if
Yeah.
you have the other mentality of like, I think I could do it, like I think that I can put the work in to achieve this goal, then you do things slowly to achieve that goal. Even like you shouldn't care about like what other people say, because like, you know, I've heard like a saying that says, never make fun of somebody else, no matter how slow their progression is. They're still progressing, you know, they're still doing what they can to try to achieve.
Yeah, but I think that's a confidence issue where it's like everything that you see is bad because you're not confident in what you're doing, if that makes sense. For example, you start a business, it doesn't go well, and you're like, dang it, I my business failed. I'm just done trying.
Yeah, like I can't do it, right?
Like 90% of
Like you get
first
discouraged.
startup businesses just fail because that's the way
Mm,
things are. But instead of thinking about it like that, like, "Ugh, I can't run a business, what did I learn from that failure? You know, what did I do wrong? Was my initial like startup idea wrong? Was my process of like determination and discipline wrong? You, there,
mm.
you learn from that, you know, and you take that as the valuable lessons, and you carry them with you. But if you were just to like have that mentality of being, oh, everything I did was wrong because I'm a mess up, and you're not confident in yourself at all. So
Yeah.
you're not gonna open up another business, and you're just gonna let yourself fail and keep digging that hole even further. Sometimes you have to dig a little bit to find treasure, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Facts.
So I mean, you fall sometimes, and that's fine. It's just how you come up and you get back up.
How you bounce
That's
back.
the Yeah, that's the real part. And your mind should always be focused on, okay, what can I do to make it better? You know, what did I learn from this? Like you said, it's never a I lose situation. It's always a I win
Yeah,
or I
you need to
learn
have that
something.
mindset, you know. Yeah, like I never
Yeah.
lose, I always win, like I win or I learn something from it. And
Yeah.
that goes back to like the negativity bias thing, is like when you look up like how can I fix like this negativity bias, because like we're hardwired that way, like that's how we're born, that's how our brain works from birth. So like something that can help you like counter it is like what you just said. Like that was a perfect example of like acknowledging where you went wrong, and then trying to learn from it and like turn it into a positive, and like turn that into something that you work on in the future to better your future. And that's how you counter that negativity bias. Is like, it's like, yes, I did it wrong and I failed, and your brain is trying to tell you, like your brain isn't your friend sometimes, and your brain's trying to tell you you're a mess up. Let's like, just like you said, that mentality is trying to mess up your mentality. It's like you're a mess up, you can't do anything right. But if you just recognize where you went wrong specifically and you really like process it and really like break it down to what like you could have done better, you can apply it to like your future and trying to better that.
Yeah, there's no point in focusing on, oh, I did this wrong and I did this wrong. I'm so dumb. I'm so dumb. Like, what's the
Yeah.
point in that? What who does it benefit? Not you, you know?
Yeah, I
And
know.
I feel like sometimes we say it also just because we wanna let everyone know, like, oh, this was my fault. Like, or God, like I'm so dumb, like I messed up, like I messed up.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, everyone messes up.
Yeah, I know. I hate it's like a pet
Fix
peeve of
it.
mine. Like I hate hearing people talk like that. It's just like, like I and you see that a lot with like little kids. I guess they don't want people to make fun of them for it if they do something wrong, so they'll say it to themselves before. I noticed that with my
Exactly.
cousin,
That's exactly, yes.
like they'll just say it to themselves so that nobody else can say it because they already know that they're bad, or whatever. So they'll be like, "Oh, I'm so dumb, I'm so stupid," like just so you wouldn't say it. Like it's just like I noticed that, and it's just like, no, you're not dumb, you're not stupid. You just did it, like you just didn't do it right. Like you'll do it right next time. Like you learn from this time, just like we were just saying. And I feel like you learn that from a young age, like if you have the right like people around you. But I feel like that
Right, because
starts
it's
from because
confidence.
like just like I said, like you're born that way with that negativity bias. Like your brain is like that. Like we're hardwired like that from birth.
Yeah,
What were you saying? So,
I don't think we're necessarily born like that. I think it's just shaped in the society that we live in as we
no,
continue
but
to
like
grow.
it's
Because
literally like your brain takes negativity like harder, just like I said. But like that's what I meant by that. Like
yeah,
your brain is already
right,
like
right.
that from.
Because like when you're born, it's like a baby's crying and like I don't know how to
Oh,
compare
we're bringing
that,
it
but
back. We're bringing it back.
like
We're bringing it
you're
back to baby,
be
baby.
because anything like as kids we're so like impressionable, our mind literally picks up on anything.
Yeah.
And we do like one wrong thing and our parents sometimes gets mad and they're
Hmm.
like, oh, like they start yelling. We're like, okay, like we
Yeah.
ugh,
That's kind of where it
we
comes
messed up.
from.
And
Yeah.
that continues to grow. That's why every negative thing, I feel like every negative thing is more highlighted than every positive thing, which is why we grow up to
Mm,
be conditioned in that negative. I remember negative more.
yeah. It's
I
like
look at negative
manifested
more.
more, like it's fed
Exactly.
more. So like it kind
Or
of gets
or
worse.
at least yeah, or at least in certain communities or cultures.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, I just recognized something that like even when you get older and stuff, not all the good things that you do are recognized. Only the bad things that you do are recognized. Like people for the most part, for in most situations, like in work or something, like if you just do what you have to do, nobody says like, well, maybe your boss will if you really show out and you really whatever. But I'm saying like on a normal daily basis, they wouldn't be praising you for your work every day, But if you did something wrong, they'd be on your like I mean they'd be on you, like you know what I mean. So like it kind
100%,
of like gets
yes.
fed over time, like it's kind of like a constant thing. It's like your the bad things that you do or like the negatives are always highlighted more than your positive. I never like it's like this every episode. Like I always find stuff out like throughout the episode that we talk about. It's just like boom, like it just comes there. But yeah, like our negative, like even in life, like our negative stuff is highlighted way more than the positive things that we do.
I'm just trying to think like how did even
Like
school do that? How
we're
did school
conditioned that
highlight?
way. We're
No,
conditioned
but
that
like
way, bro.
yeah, but
Yo, how
how
does
did
school do it? Like like when the teacher comes and you fail a test and they fold it. That's scary. Like you know what I mean? Like that's scary. And then people know too. Like if you fail, because it'd be like
I can't
just
paper folded
yeah,
like
bro. That's scary. You don't want to see
side
that on
eye.
test day, on grading day.
But I feel like in school, if you do good, you're highlighted more. I feel like that's the opposite in school, which can be a good thing
Mm.
because, well, no, in certain occasions, you get good grades, you're going to be highlighted. You get, I mean, I don't know if all schools have this, but student of the month, honor rolls, principal's
Yeah,
honors,
they do get
stuff like
highlighted.
that. But even the people who are like considered the bad people or the bad students is kind of
They get
like,
acknowledged more though.
yeah, right?
They'd be like, you get sent to the they call you to the office and it's like, ooh, what'd you do? you know, but
Yeah.
nobody says nothing to the kid that's like, you got students of the month. You're the only one that feels like good about that, you
There you
know,
go. Okay,
and nobody else
all the
recognizes
kids,
that.
like you won't be like, oh, like congrats, you guys are the one, like yay, good job.
Yeah.
No, those are the teachers. Oh my God, yeah, that's exactly what
Yeah,
it is.
right.
They'll
I just
never
realized that too. They'll never be
like,
like, good
oh,
job, like you did nice. Student of the month for the third time this year. But if it's like you got sent to the principal, it's like, damn, like that's the fifth time you got sent to the principal.
like
That's the
damn,
fifth time you
what
got.
did you? They're
Yeah,
like, what
like
did
what
you
did you
do? What did
do?
you
You know?
do?
Yeah, like what? Ooh, you hear the like the murmur in the bag, like when it's like Joseph come to the office, like ooh, like you
And
get
that
those looks and stuff. You just
and
don't feel good about yourself.
that's because our instinct, I think, now I'm realizing, is to always bring other people down. No, like we want to make sure that
We're good. Like it's like a
we're
selfish
good.
thing. Yeah, like
Exactly,
I
and we
didn't
have
get
to
called to
train
the
that.
office, but he did. So like, oh,
Right.
what'd you do? You know, like that's
But
like
you
I
got
hate
student of the month and I
uh,
didn't. Like, I'm
human
not saying
nature
anything to you.
sucks. Yeah, exactly.
Like, I'll be
You're
like,
not gonna
oh,
say nothing
cool.
when somebody else does something positive. That's why it's super hard to find genuine friends and genuine people, is because like people that think like that, like 95% of people, and like even people that could be genuine, they still probably have that like in them also at times. But like
Everyone
it's so
does,
hard to
but
find genuine people like that. People that are just
the,
like happy, genuinely happy for other people if something happens for them.
I feel like in school, it's like a competition between all the smart kids, and then like
Yeah, that's
everyone
a
else
fact.
doesn't care at all.
That's a fact.
So it's like,
Yeah, that's like high school too. It's like valedictorian. People just care about valedictorian, trying to get valedictorian. Like the smart kids cared about it, but then everybody else was just like, nah, whatever. You know?
yeah, I don't care.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
like, yeah, I remember like getting student of the month or like principal's honors.
Oh,
I've always had straight A's, right? But here was the issue,
yeah.
that I was never in competition with everyone else, but I felt like everyone else was in competition with me.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah,
what did I
yeah,
do? Like those fake, like, oh my God, good job, congratulations, and you knew it
yeah,
was fake. Like
yeah,
those suck, now that I think about it. And
yeah.
okay, and maybe did I ever tell a story here of when I won presidency in student council in 8th grade?
No,
Let me explain
don't
this
say any
because
names though,
no, I won't. I mean, I doubt any of them are actually watching this, but
because they don't support it. They don't support you.
I mean, whatever. So I submitted application so I can run for presidency. No, student council. Sorry, 8th grade.
Hmm.
It was the first like Lincoln school, so all the schools in Kearney combined for 7th and 8th grade, the first year ever, because all the schools were always separated.
Hmm.
This year they decided to combine it. My class was the first class, 8th grade. I was in 8th grade at that time. Was the first year that we went in. And so my school, for some reason, it's Kearney, but we were considered the ghetto school because we were
Okay.
of color.
Okay.
Mind you, every other school in Kearney is like white people. My school comes in, you see like black people, brown people, um,
Spanish.
Hispanics,
Hmm.
like a lot more
Got you. Diverse city.
diverse. There you go. So we were considered
Hmm.
ghetto for some reason. The teacher was a little racist, not gonna lie. I believe she was a little racist. And she was voting for, she was like, I want this girl to win. And that girl was like a blonde girl, really nice girl. And there was this other guy who was also running, and he would go and like draw inappropriate things on my posters and like
Yeah.
write inappropriate things too. Whatever, they ended up being caught. Who ended up winning? Me, because I didn't I instead of like being in competition with these other people, I actually just focus on like being myself and having like everyone around me like acknowledge that I was being genuine and being like real. And that,
Yeah.
I think that's what made me win, because when I heard John Kamak over the speaker, I was like, huh? Like, I won. Everyone else, I literally everyone, nobody thought I was gonna win. I was from the ghetto school. I was poor. I was this. I was that. Whatever. That these
Hmm.
other, I don't want to say like whatever they would call or say things because they're inappropriate. But I won, you know. So it's the confidence, and it's the not being in competition with everyone, just being yourself. And when
Genuine.
you do that, yeah, when you do
Yeah.
that, your best qualities are gonna come out, and everyone's gonna catch
Yeah.
on to that. It was just like the self-confidence and why like everyone feels the need to put everyone else down
Oh yeah,
instead
yeah,
of
yeah. Sorry.
like supporting each other. If I took, oh, they're calling me that I'm from the ghetto school, like I don't deserve to win, I'm gonna stop and I'm not gonna try at all.
That should motivate
Like,
you to do. That should motivate you to
right.
try to even get it, like just to prove them wrong. But some people do like that mentality is just like what you said. It's just like no, they're right. Like maybe I don't deserve it. You know, then
Yeah.
you're not even gonna try anymore.
That's
But
a
if you have
confidence
like
issue. And that's a
yeah,
confidence issue.
and the mentality, like how it affects your confidence, your mentality, how it
Yeah.
affects your confidence and motivation and stuff like that.
And ask me what good thing I remember from running for that presidency. Nothing.
Well,
Nothing.
because you were just yourself. You weren't even thinking about it like that.
No, I
You
mean,
weren't.
I remember all the negative things, but not the good things. And
Oh, that's
that's
what
what
you
I'm trying
mean.
to say, you know? So it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
but
You
maybe
just
because
remember
that,
being like discriminated and like,
yeah, for no
you know,
reason.
maybe it did motivate you, but you just didn't know
That's what I'm
because you got,
realizing now.
you know
It
what I
probably
mean?
did motivate me, and I didn't even realize it. But whatever.
Yeah.
Things shape you.
Ooh.
School shapes the
The
person you become.
Yeah, exactly. It does. And I was trying to think about mentality in sports, and mentality is a really big thing in sports because that's your confidence, that's like your driving force in how you do, and like your it affects your confidence and stuff. And I definitely had problems with like my mentality, over time, and that's why I'm like not playing right now. But you learn over time and you look back and it's just good to be aware of like where you went wrong with that mentality, and like all that matters is like what you can control now, and all you can control now is like your mentality for the moment and for the rest of your life now, and that's what I've learned from it.
Like, you're gonna win, you're gonna succeed if you're
Yeah,
always looking at things positively, if you're always looking at the good side, the
yeah,
light at the end of the tunnel, instead of being like stuck in this dark bubble.
yeah. It kind of like I don't want to bring the episode back again, but mentality is like the base to overthinking. Does that make sense?
Yeah, well, if
Like
you're
your
if you start to
mentality is what makes you overthink, and then the
yeah,
overthinking
exactly.
is what causes the downward spiral into whatever. Like mentality is like base one of like how
The
bad your
principle,
overthinking is.
it's yeah, it's a foundation of
Yeah.
what's gonna,
Yes.
what's gonna
Foundation
result.
base. Yeah. Exactly. And like that was like when I was interviewing for the RA position and stuff, and it's all these like really smart kids, and they're all trying to be RAs, and like they're all trying to they want to get free housing and stuff. If you don't know what RA is, it's a resident assistant, like at your dorm for school, like for a hall. And I was like nervous because it's all these smart kids, and I was just honestly, I was just myself, and I did prepare, even though like I didn't really want it. It was just like, yeah, it's cool to get free housing, but like, do I really want it? But then like that's what kind of what motivated me. It was like it's all these really smart kids, and I kind of wanted to prove to myself that I can get it, because honestly I had like my brain was just like, you can't get it, like all these kids, they're smarter than you and they've been here longer and stuff. I was a freshman when I interviewed for this position, and then you go there and you realize like all these smart kids. Oh, so the first stage was a writing stage. We had to write something for them, like a page or two or whatever, about some question. And I made it through, and I was really surprised. And then you get to the next phase, and it's an interview, in-person interview. You got to speak to them, like, and all that. And then it's like really nerve-wracking because like they're just asking you questions, and you got to like think about like like a regular interview. But it's funny because I really was confident then, because I know that I was confident in myself, and I was like, I want to prove that I can do this. So then I was like, I'm just gonna be myself. I'm gonna answer these questions like as like well as I can. And then you realize like all these smart kids, they're not like that great at talking, you know, like they're really smart with like books and stuff. Like they can write. That's why they made it this far. But then when it comes to like talking and being like really like empathetic, and like they have to like show their emotions and like really show why like they want the position and what they can do in the position and like what they've done in the past and all that. Like I was like I could do this, and then I eventually like I got it, and it was like really surprising to me and a lot of other people that like I was friends with theirs, because I'd never really cared that much to get it, and I would like all these people are like really like determined and they're really smart and stuff, and then there's like me, like I don't think I'm that smart, and like I didn't really have that much confidence in myself. But then like the mentality changes like when you want to prove something, and like I wanted to prove to myself like that I can get this position, and like I haven't really worked that much previously like job, but like it was like really important to me to like
Job.
job. Yeah, I haven't really worked job, but yeah, and I was like I wanted to prove to me, and now I'm stuck with it, and now I'm gonna do it in the fall this year.
Well, you see, it's that, and you did the exact, like, you pinpointed how like nobody there, although they were smart, they weren't able to be empathetic and be able to like be a people person.
Yeah,
And that's probably what got you the job, because you are like somebody who like most people are like comfortable speaking to, want to speak to, and that's kind of the whole point of your job, right? Like you have to go around and speak to everyone who lives
yeah,
in that facility.
yeah,
And I mean, I think that goes for all jobs. A lot of people ask me like how I had like these
yeah.
jobs when I was
It is
young.
interesting. Yeah, I know. It's like you had some crazy, like, great jobs when you're younger. I mean, you should say it if people don't know.
I mean, okay, so I mean, just the Liberty Science Center is one of them, right?
Uh-huh.
I
At like
was
15 or 16.
I was 17.
Oh,
Okay.
really? When did you start working at State
No,
Farm?
okay, so State Farm, I was 18.
Oh, okay.
So, okay,
Yeah, yeah, like,
Liberty Science Center was, I volunteered there when I was 15,
mm,
only over the summer. But when I was like 16, 17, junior year, they
yeah.
were having like these interviews for hospitality associate, which is basically you just stand and like let people like in, or like you walk around and see if they need help with anything. And then there was another opening for interpretation associate, but this one required college or like teaching experience,
Okay.
which I had
Don't tell
none.
me you got that. You got
I
that?
got so I applied for that
Ooh,
one.
that's crazy.
I applied for that one and I got invited for an interview. So obviously I went to the interview. Then I got invited to stage two, which was like this group interview where we had to like do certain things. And it was like a lot of us. But what happened was that I'm a people person. So when I walked in there, I saw somebody who worked with me in my internship when I interned in the summer.
Hmm.
And I was like, hey, like, how are you? And she was like, oh my God, you're here. Like
Yeah,
here, like you're looking for like this job. And I was like, yeah,
yeah,
for this one. And she was like, oh my God. And it was crazy because I'm like surrounded by like 30-year-olds, like 28-year-olds, like these old people who are
yeah,
like not old, but like, they're either done with college or like about to finish college. I'm like 40, 60-year-olds, like whatever. And they were all looking at me like, who is this like 17-year-old kid?
yeah,
And whatever. But like you said, I was
yeah,
able to communicate and be a people person, and I ended up getting the job. Like I don't think only like
yeah.
two people got the job, and I was one of them.
Yeah, and honestly, it's like we're not saying like to be people. Oh my God, people. We're not saying
People
you
pleasers?
have to be people. I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't say like be
No,
a
no.
people
It
or like, but I'm saying like it shows you how far being like genuine and like really not being scared of like not
That's
saying
the
something
key.
like can like because
Right. Not
you
being
have the
I
confidence
could
like
have I could have easily said like to everyone, "Oh, I'm
mhm,
going to get this job because I know that person, I know that person." And
yeah,
like just come off as like a jerk. Like they wouldn't want to hire me. But I went in there genuinely like wanting the job, and I worked. And every time I do something new, I always take it as an opportunity. Like these people don't know me. They don't know that I'm shy, quiet, this
yeah,
and that.
exactly,
So
yeah,
I have the opportunity to come off as like somebody like, wow, like look at this person. So I try
yeah.
my best to do that all the time. And that's how I got the job. And I mean, a lot of people, I work with a bunch of like older people, which kind of sucked. It's always sucked because I've always worked with older people. And I've
Yeah,
never
but
had
that
like
like
coworkers my age, and I
that
would
gives
see
you like
like
a chip
everyone
on your
walk
shoulder
by.
though.
Yeah, but
That's like your
yeah,
little
whatever.
like I'm the youngest in like I mean, do you want to work with people your age? I feel like that's
I never had that
like a bragging right.
experience.
It's just like
I would see like the other position where like all the high schoolers had. Like I would see that position, like all of them like look like they had fun, they had like good connections and stuff. And I would start talking to like my 6-year old friend named Steve, you know, who I was
yeah,
like teaching like courses with, and it was just
yeah,
like, whatever. But it did make me grow confident, and that's the whole point,
yeah,
seeing things like I could have easily said, I'm not gonna get this, I don't have this experience, and blah blah blah, but I just
yeah,
work for it.
yeah. And you're
And
genuine. You know, what was I gonna say? Genuine. I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh my god.
genuinity.
Damn, I was thinking about it in the middle too. But no, yeah, I think everything that you're saying is 100% real, and it just shows you like being genuine. I mean, as I said before, I don't want to say it again, but
Like how
like
far you
being
can
genuine,
go.
yeah. Oh, the places you'll go, Dr.
Love that
Seuss.
book.
Just believing that you can do it and like, well, but oh, here's my question. I just wanted to. I don't know if we're gonna end off this, but I have a question. um like what was your mentality, like we talked a little bit about your mentality like going through it, but like what was your mentality, like what'd you learn from that, like how you were going into that and like your mentality now going through it, like going through all these processes that you're going through right now and this job and your future thing, like what's
Ventures.
your mentality now, and then I'll answer after.
um, I guess what it really helped me
Like how has
was
your mentality
just,
evolved, I guess you could say,
yeah, I mean, before I was so focused, like,
because you're a
okay,
successful
job,
man.
stop.
You are for
Stop right
at
now.
such a young age, though. At such a young age, you're successful. Like you're doing
Um,
good.
okay.
You know.
So thank you for the beginning. It was always like, okay, I need to make money in this position and I want to get along with my coworkers, which I think is important,
Yeah.
but you don't learn anything, I think, when you get stuck like that. And you work with people your age and you're kind of always stuck there. I've always worked with older people.
Yeah.
Like I've had jobs where people went to college and didn't go to college, and they're like,
Yeah.
how I started working at State Farm and my coworkers looked at me like, how are you here at 18 years old? But that relationship, that connection, I guess, that I was able to make with certain people taught me a lot, like in the workforce, what I needed to know. I think I learned more because they have so much more experience. So now I always appreciate when I have older coworkers who can teach me stuff.
Yeah.
Where
They're
people my
wise.
age, they're just learning. We're all
Yeah.
just learning. And the only opportunities that I'll get for advancement is when I'm learning from people who already have the experience. And
Yeah.
that's what I've been doing in the past. I
Just
mean,
learning from your peers.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
learning from not my peers, because I think peers is people who like your age,
Your age. Yeah.
but I
I
would
mean,
say learning from experienced people.
people.
Even I
Yeah.
was a
Like having mentors and stuff, right? Like.
Yeah, I was a volunteer at the Liberty Science Center. That and I took it so seriously that I spoke to this one leader, who was like ended up being the manager of the hiring manager.
Yeah.
So I
See.
made that
See another thing.
connection.
How
You know,
like
I
genuine,
made
being
that
genuine,
connection.
how can carry you so far, right?
Exactly. And then when
You never
and then
know.
when I exactly when I went in, she was like, "Oh my God, you're here," and I was like, "Yeah." So, boom,
Yeah,
I got the job.
exactly, John.
Like I
Yes.
go in for a conversation with the owner for State Farm. I was just genuinely I was scared. I was nervous. I was about to go work at CVS as a manager.
Yeah.
Okay, not going to college. But I had a genuine conversation about what I wanted, about how I didn't know, I had no idea what insurance was, didn't know if I wanted it to be like my career. And
Yeah.
and I'm so thankful to him because he was very helpful in helping me find my career and whatever.
Yeah.
But it's just when you're genuine and you take the opportunity to learn from everyone, you never look at it as like a downside. You always like, what can I learn? What can I learn? What can I learn?
Yeah.
You keep that
Information.
mindset and you're going to be building yourself up. You're always going to grow yourself and you're always going to advance in your career. It's that
Yeah.
opportunity. You just have to look for it.
Yeah. seize the opportunity. I definitely believe that a
And
hundred
make
percent.
connections. Make connections.
Yeah. I never realized how many connections I had until now, like seeing it now, like realizing when we think about like people who we might want to have on the podcast, and like people with like smaller businesses that like we can collaborate with, much like something that's in the works. I'm not gonna say, but um I never realized
Mhm.
it, but it's just being like, again, I never realized it like that. Being genuine, like just being yourself, like just being myself, has brought me those connections of, like literally, like it's crazy, like without knowing, without trying to make connections. I don't like that, because like people say like it's about who you know, not what you know, and I don't like that, because
And
it's just
people
like
take
a
it too
connected
far.
world.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
and we're just like that's like the definition of people pleasing, like going out just to people please, just to make a connection. I don't
that's
like that. Just to
selfish.
make, like that's like stepping on other people to make yourself like
Mhm.
higher. I don't. Yeah,
I don't like
exactly.
that.
Selfish.
And
Yeah,
people don't get anywhere with that. It's when you make
yeah.
the genuine
The
connections
genuine
that it's like
connections, like I feel like that's like great karma. Like I don't know, like you make genuine connections, and then like they eventually come back, just like that thing, like with the Liberty Science Center, and then with the thing with us, with my friend who's a small business, like I was friends with her, and then it just
gosh,
comes
just
full
tell
circle, like
everyone already.
no, I no, like there's no specifics, I didn't say anything, but like it comes full circle, and then like like she was like, oh, I have a business, whatever, and it's like, oh, that's cool, that's great, like I'm happy for you, and then eventually boom, like here we are again, like a year and a half later after meeting her, and it's just like crazy. But what was the question I asked you before? I want to answer that also. How's your
How did your
mentality
mindset
like?
evolve?
Yeah, well, for me it's like different, because I don't have like a career, and I don't have like a mentor for uh like someone who's guided me through my career, or like what I want to do and stuff. But so I think it'll be like a little bit more relatable, is like, but I've learned, I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be so real here. Like I'm gonna say something that's like that I'm like not happy about, but I will say it on the podcast. It's just like when I was younger, I would get scared of like that next step of like I was just scared of like opening the door to like another like level. So like for example, like playing baseball growing up, like I was great. I mean like I was good, and I would just get scared. I was scared of like the next level of like playing after that, but then I also was bored, so like that kind of played into it also. But like I guess like I just get scared of like the next level and like what to expect, and I used to like have a bad mentality when it came to sports, and then basketball also. It's just like I would just have like not the right mentality, and I would really like talk down on myself to where I talk myself out of doing it completely. And that's kind of like I quit playing baseball, and like high school basketball, like I really had like bad confidence in terms of like stuff like that. So it was like I've learned from then, and like now I learn to like seize opportunities, because I had so many opportunities like back then. And like the same thing with like modeling and stuff, like you just stop because you're scared of like what could like happen, or like what's the possibilities and all that stuff. But like now I know, like seize the opportunity, like if it doesn't work out, then that's fine. I was really like childish, like my how I thought of things and stuff. Like I was just
I
like,
don't
I'd
think it's
rather not do it
childish.
at all. Like, oh yeah, I mean,
I just
what
think
do you
that
think?
it's a fear to fail.
Yeah,
And a lot of
exactly.
people
I think
have
that's
that
what
where
it
it's
is.
like, if I keep doing this, then I have to do it a certain way. And if I don't do that, if I don't get to that standard or that
Yeah, like I had
expectation,
the
then
expectation. Yeah,
I'm gonna let
exactly.
myself down. I'm gonna let everyone else down. So I'd rather not do it at all. It's
Yeah,
that
like,
fear to
and
fail.
I like really am mad about myself for that, because I didn't do a lot of things when I was younger, just because I just was scared of the next thing,
But the good thing
of
is that
like
you
failing.
learned, and now
Yeah, no,
you
now I know.
recognize that.
Yeah, and I think my first application of like that, the evolution of that mentality, is the RA position, because honestly, I did not think I was gonna get it, but I still did it, and I like was like, if you don't get it, then who cares. So like I think that was like the first my first application of that like mentality, of that learning process that I've learned from back then. is that, because like I haven't really had an opportunity, I guess, to apply that, but I think that was like my first application, like of what I've learned, and like just do it, kind of thing.
Just
Like
do it.
yeah, like just do it. And if it doesn't work out, then it doesn't work out.
You miss
Then
every
it
shot you
wasn't meant
don't
for
take.
you. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's crazy, like thinking about it, just how much I've quit, like just stopped doing things just because I was scared of how it would turn out, or scared of failing. I guess you could say I never realized that before till now. You realize that thing. See, that's the thing, is like the negative bias is like you acknowledge those things, like, and you realize what has caused you to do it, and then you try to fix it. And that was like what caused me to quit back then, is like my mentality. So that's why I've been trying to work on that, like all quarantine. And I guess it started from like the beginning of college and doing that RA thing. I think that was like when it started, when I started applying it and started like realizing it and maturing and trying to fix my mentality. And here I am, like I'm trying to better it like every day and trying to try new things. And you know and like streaming, like with my JVJ channel, like I was actually like all down for it, but then I was like talking myself out of it and stuff. Like I wasn't confident. But now, like when I'm moving over the summer. Somebody asked us to talk about our summer plans. I'm moving like before the summer starts, and I really
Favors.
want to get like a good PC. And yeah, shout out Faye. And I want to like get a good PC, and I want to stream. I actually want to do it. And I
It's
really do.
discipline. It's just
Yeah, like the
discipline and
discipline thing,
keeping that
that's
mindset.
so hard. It's so hard. The discipline thing is so hard. But like Will Smith said, like 99% of people don't work for like what they want. So like I really do want to do it, and I really do want to try it. And of course with this too, I want to get a good PC for this too, to have like better live streams and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm like excited, and my mentality is way better than what it was before. It's a lot more of the glass half full, and I'm always hopeful. And I see the try to see the best in everybody I meet. I trust everybody wholeheartedly till they give me a reason not to, of course. But like I used to have a mentality, it's just like I was scared of everyone, and I still kind of am, like because of how much I've been like hurt with
Just
like friendships and
aware.
stuff. Yeah, I
Just
guess I'm more
self-aware.
aware of. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I guess that's what it is. But I still do like trust people wholeheartedly till they give me a reason not to. I give my all
Yeah.
into people, and if they just don't reciprocate it or whatever, then it's whatever. Um, but yeah, that's my mentality now. It's just like try to be as real and genuine as possible, I guess. Like just be myself, and like I can do it. Like I really think like I could do a lot of these things. And I wrote it down. Like I wrote that stuff down. uh because I believe that that I could do it eventually. And that's all with the mentality. And that's it. That's the end of the episode. End it.
No, yeah,
That's it. Drop the
definitely.
mic, bro. Drop the mic. We just need to take our mics off and drop it. But yeah, I mean, I think we had some
It's
good stories this
yeah.
episode and good examples of what we were trying to get portray and get across to people.
It's
I
just
talked for
like
too
you
long, I
said,
think.
it's the base of and foundation is going to be your mentality and how you see things. And like you said, when we're scared and we see everything negative, it's going to fail, fail, fail.
Yeah,
We're just putting ourselves down and we're going to fail. But if we start to look at things, the glass half full,
full. And the light at the end of the tunnel, you know,
we're gonna
or
start to
like the
succeed.
jewels there. You just gotta keep digging. You know, you ever see those like things on Instagram? It's like one guy quit. Like there's a big jewel. Like one guy quit, and he like
The
right
game
before he was
ads,
at there's a big jewel. Yeah, no,
like
no, no. It's like,
the
oh yeah, I guess, but like some of them are
little
like
guy with the
actually like
mustache, and
real
he's like,
pictures. I don't know, but it's like he quits like digging, but there's a big jewel like right where he stopped, you know. And then
I've
the other
never seen that.
picture is like somebody that kept going, and they kept digging, and they got the jewel. But like yeah, that's basically what we're saying. It's just like glass half full, light at the end of the tunnel. Keep digging. Like there will be something there eventually. You
Yeah,
know, if you work hard enough, I don't think no work goes like for granted. Like if you work towards something, I think like you'll see the fruition of like your work eventually.
yeah, it'll pay off. Hard work always pays
Yeah.
off.
Yeah, exactly. And with that, I think we're good. Like, we talked for a while.
Yeah, we thought we were only gonna talk for like 20 minutes. I think we talked for like
Yeah, I
45.
know. Thank you guys for listening. We hope you guys enjoyed. We talked about a lot of different stuff that we weren't expecting to talk about, but um, that's a good thing. Hopefully, it's a little longer, but
Yeah.
we hope you guys enjoyed.
Make sure you guys follow us on all our social media platforms like Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, um, Pat, Pod, Pat's podcast. You guys can stay updated there. Joseph's helping us out by posting song of the day now, so we're trying to
Yeah,
get that started.
I'm trying to stay consistent, and
Yeah,
I have a
I'll
high
start the
now.
IGTV. I'll start the IGTV coming up in May. So that's good
Okay,
news.
that's
Announcement.
news to me.
Yeah, I forgot to tell you. I forgot to tell you, but I'll tell you now. I'm starting in the second week of May.
Okay, that's good to know.
So that's good. Make sure you guys are tuning in and keeping
We hope you
up
guys like the
up to date
songs.
with us. Yeah, we hope you
Yeah.
guys like this. But yeah. So if you guys also want to
Yeah.
support and donate, you can at anchor.fm/pats-podcast/support. um yeah, thank you guys so much
Yeah.
for
Thank you
tuning
guys
in
for
and
listening.
hope you guys enjoyed.
Yeah. Episode 11 done.